fingers, hand, foot, torch. She had arrived in pieces of herself. Later, while discussing her reassemblage, an engineer remarked that the embryo lighthouse, as they called the interior skeleton of the statue, held clues to reconstructing her form. Yet many elements of her construction went unexplained, left us puzzled. We were left with our imaginations to create adaptations. During those months, we lived in the city and we labored on the island. We were woodworkers, ironworkers, roofers and plasterers and brick masons. We were pipe fitters and welders and carpenters. We mixed concrete. We pounded earth. We armed the saws and drills. We were sheet metal and copper specialists. She arrived in our hands as 31 tons of copper and 125 tons of steel. 300 copper sheets had been pressed to create the outer skin of her. We were cooks and cleaners and nuns and night watch people. We were nurses and artists and janitors, runners and messengers and thieves, mothers and fathers and grandparents, sisters and brothers and children. During the day, you could always hear the insistent hammering, the files grating, the chains clanking, the copper singing as it was being shaped over wooden scaffolds, the cacophonous orchestra of our labor. You could always see arms swinging, hands at work, shoulders and biceps, and the jaws of the workers flexing and grinding. Those sounds were our bodies. Her body coming to life from all of our hands. We, the body, took pride in our labor, as if we expected that someone would know our names, carry our stories. When the winds in the harbor grew too strong, we had to abandon scaffolding. We used pulleys and ropes. We took care to be gentle against the softer metal. We dangled ourselves around her body, swung around the pieces of her like the swoop and lift of acrobats or birds or window washers, though all of us were tethered to her body. Sometimes, for just a moment, a body can feel real inside a story that way, as if each of us existed. At night, when it was nobody's shift, some of us would stand around her head and stare at her giant, rounded eyes. We thought she looked sad, or angry and sad. Her eyes each much larger than a human head. Her face neither male nor female, or perhaps just both. We felt she had the stare of our labor, but also our loss, our love, our lives. Sometimes, holding near to her, we thought or felt, Mother. But we meant it in some new way no one has imagined before. We were the impossible, possible voice of bodies. Some of us were born here, and some of us were the sons and daughters of mothers and fathers not from here. They came from famine, they came from poverty, they came from occupations and brutalities and war. They came from something to leave, which is why they crossed land and water. They spoke of persecutions or poverty, but they also spoke of rolling hills, or sunsets over the desert, or flowers with names that made our hearts reach out. The leaving of a place carried sorrow as well as relief, and the coming here carried both as well. We spoke of both brutality and beauty, or remembered beauty, in our homelands, or in the hands of infants born here. We let go the hand of prior homes to reach this place. We were Jews and Italians and Lithuanians and Poles. We were Irish and Native American and Chinese. We were Lebanese and African and Mexican. We were Germans and Trinidadians and Scots. There were hundreds of us over time and across distances. It is impossible to say how many. We were